What's up, people? Snitch Girl 30 here again. Now, I was actually going to do a SmackDown review as well as a Power Rankings video, but after what happened to AW, I am not in the mood to do either or. So, in place of that, I have decided to do a predictions video for TNA's Hardcore Justice that is going to be premiering tomorrow on pay per view. So, let's get started on some of these matches. All right, let's get started for the X Division title. The X Division title match with Kenny King versus Zima Ion. I am a huge fan of Zima Ion. I would love Zima Ion to win, but let's be realistic. Kenny King has had a great push as of late. He even had his own little video package for this past TNA. I really do believe that Kenny King is going to probably be the winner of this match. Okay, moving on to the next match. Kid Cash and Gunner versus Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez. I guess they're supposed to be the new Mexican America. Honestly, I really don't see Gunner winning this. I just don't. I mean, sure, Gunner's supposed to be the face, and I guess Chavo's supposed to be a heel now. I am not entirely sure, but I'm a huge fan of Chavo Guerrero. I'll always be a fan of Chavo Guerrero. I would love Chavo and Hernandez to win it because Chavo's a freaking legend. Who is Gunner? Really? Who is Kid Cash? Really? And yes, they're great wrestlers. Don't get me wrong. But I'm all about Chavo. And I know I'm probably going to be wrong in making this. But after what happened to AW, I'm going to make my own choice here. I'm going to say Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez is going to take it. I know I'm wrong. I might be wrong, but I don't care. I love Chavo. So I'm going to say Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez is going to win that match. Moving on to the Knockouts title match. Madison Rayne versus Miss Tessmacher. I really, honestly, and truthfully don't see Miss Tessmacher winning it unless Earl Hebner is the ref. Now, if Earl Hebner is not the ref, Madison Rayne has a less chance of winning the title than she would ever. I mean, let's face it. I really don't think she can actually beat Miss Tessmacher cleanly. I think that Miss Tessmacher is going to win if Earl Hebner is not involved. So this is considered a wild card, depending on who the ref is at this time. So it's really hard to make a call unless I know who the ref is. So let's leave it right now and just completely open because it all depends on whether or not Earl Hebner is going to be there. Moving on to the next match, the BFG Series match worth 20 points and a falls count anywhere. Mr. Anderson versus Rob Van Dam versus the Pope versus Magnus. Honestly, for me, it's a toss-up between Mr. Anderson and Rob Van Dam. Mr. Anderson was way up there. Like, he really did gather a lot of points. And I really do see Mr. Anderson getting a bigger push, in my opinion. I know there's going to be a ton of people from TNA say, what are you talking about? The thing is, in my opinion, I really do feel that Mr. Anderson would be the best winner for this match. Honestly, I love Rob Van Dam. I love Rob Van Dam in his WWF days, and I love Rob Van Dam now. But honestly, I don't want him to win this match. I just don't. I'm sorry. I don't want Rob Van Dam to win this match. I would love Mr. Anderson to win this match. I would prefer him to win this match. I'm not even going to put the Pope and Magnus in there. I really am not. They're just there just to fill in space. But I really do believe, let's be real here, that it might be Rob Van Dam. I don't want it to be Rob Van Dam. I want it to be Mr. Anderson, but let's face it, it's going to be Rob Van Dam. I hope I'm wrong. Moving on to the next BFG Series match. Worth 20 points in a tables match. Jeff Hardy versus James Storm versus Bully Ray versus Robbie freaking E. Let's just exclude Robbie E from this entire match and just make it Jeff Hardy versus James Storm versus Bully Ray. James Storm. Not only is this guy pretty much being pointed at for being the leader of the Aces of Ace. No, I take that back. Terminator NJ happens to be the leader of the Aces of Ace. Okay, Terminator NJ's apprentice, possible apprentice, James Storm. He has been pointed at for being the apprentice of the Aces of Ace for a while now, for many weeks now. So it can go either or. If the Aces of Ace become involved in this BFG match, let's face it, James Storm is gonna take it. But if he's not involved, I have to say Jeff Hardy. If if the Aces of Age do not interfere in this match at all, I have to say that Jeff Hardy has a bigger chance of winning than James Storm. So this is another wild card, so it's kind of difficult to call down the middle because it's a possible interference with the Aces and Eights. So honestly, I'm just going to leave that open for right now. The next BFG series match worth 20 points in a ladder match. AJ Styles versus Kurt Angle versus Christopher Daniels versus Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is like up there. Like seriously, he is way up there. I would not be surprised if Samoa Joe actually takes this match. AJ Styles, he does kind of need a little bit of retribution, especially after that whole Claire thing, the really stupid storyline that I wish would go away. But honestly, he would pretty much need a lot of retribution here. So I wouldn't be surprised if AJ Styles would be a contender to win this match. Or Kurt Angle. I like Kurt Angle because Kurt Angle is great at submission moves. For crying out loud, he's an Olympian, a true Olympian in my hometown of Atlanta in the 1996 Olympics. I will not forget that. But either or, to be real about this whole thing, I have to say that it's going to be Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is going to win this match. That's how I see it. I could be wrong. I'm happy to be wrong. But let's move on to what I consider to be the main event of the night, and the possible main event of the night is the World Heavyweight Championship between Bobby Roode and Austin Aries. Austin Aries has had a great and natural climb. He's had the true he had the true Rocky. He actually had the true climb in the Rocky Balboa fashion because he went from being nothing. Well, he wasn't nothing. He went from going to like a small fish in a big pond to a really really big fish in a possible small pond. Well, in a small pond. Either or, the guy has had natural growth. He's had natural growth. He's made you fall in love with his character. He made you feel like his character's relatable because he came from nothing and built himself up to something. He went from being the X Division champion to being the main honcho, the big guy, the World Heavyweight Championship holder. So honestly, I don't see Bobby Roode taking it. I just don't, because Bobby Roode has had a very long and healthy title reign. The fact of the matter is, he is a great heel, but I just don't really see it benefiting him to be a champion right now. Because I think that if they actually had a rematch between him and James Storm, that it would be more beneficial. Unless that's probably their idea in the long run. Having Bobby Roode take the belt off of Austin Aries just to build up for another James Storm rematch. It's a possibility there. So honestly, it's kind of hard to call this one down the middle. It all depends on what they want to do with this whole storyline. Whether or not they're going to have James Storm to be in another rematch with Bobby Roode. If that's the case, then Bobby Roode is going to take the belt off of Austin Aries, and they're going to continue to try to build up, you know, trying to build up a possible James Storm, Bobby Roode, the part sequel or trilogy or whatever it is. Either or, if they're going to build up that storyline, and that's going to be a case that Bobby Roode is going to be the winner. If they change their mind about that, then Austin Aries is going to hold the belt. I think that Austin Aries should hold the belt because his title reign has not been lengthy enough in my eyes, and I think of him as a really great champion. He's an excellent man on the mic. He is actually a true champion holder. He's a true champion in my eyes, and I think that he does the belt justice, and I think that they actually should hold the belt on him, but it doesn't matter what I think. Well, in this case, it really does. But either or, I'm going to say this just to spit it out. With the possibility, a huge possibility of a James Storm Bobby Roode rematch, I have to say Bobby Roode may take the belt here. Not because I don't like Austin Aries. It's because of the fact that that's a possibility that it may happen that way. So I'm just going to say that Bobby Roode is going to take the belt from Austin Aries. There you go. That is all of my calls straight down the middle as I see them. Stay tuned on Sunday for Hardcore Justice on pay-per-view. I am going to be watching it. I'm going to be streaming it, and I am absolutely looking forward to this pay-per-view. Better than SummerSlam at this point. But either or, this is the Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out, y'all. See you later.